150 million of these Abbott BinaxNow rapid tests. The BinaxNow detects the presence of the COVID antigen. It uses a specific nasal swab, and that swab comes with the test, and it's made by Puritan. And the reason why Puritan swabs are here is because the administration used the DPA and $120 million in investment to make these swabs able to use by Abbott. It does not require an instrument to determine the result. It's in 15 minutes, the result. Testing may be performed by laboratories with a clear certificate of waiver. This is not a home test, but during the health emergency, CMA and CMS permits laboratories to extend their certificate to operate in temporary sites like schools or churches or parking lots. So though we anticipate that the test will generally be performed by a trained individual on a patient, I will demonstrate a self-swab for you to show you just exactly how easy the test is performed. So literally, it almost could not be easier. It starts with 6 drops of liquid onto this piece of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then there's a nasal swab. And again, this is not the deep brain biopsy that we talk about. This will generally be done by a healthcare provider, but it can be done supervised. It's this easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Into the test, twisted 3 times. The adhesive is pulled off, and you wait 15 minutes, and that is the test. It really could not be easier than this. This is a very sophisticated little piece of cardboard with lots of antibodies and incredible technology into that. We've already shipped 65,000 of these to disaster operations in California, Oregon, Texas, and Louisiana, and we have already shipped 2.1 million tests to 7,600 nursing homes, over 900,000 tests to assisted living, 300,000 tests to the Indian Health Service, and 339,000 tests to historically black colleges and universities. Today, we start the shipment of 100 million tests to governors, beginning with a total of 6.5 million tests this week to be shipped this week. This is in addition to the continuing support to other priorities like nursing homes. Allocation to states and territories is based strictly on their relative population. Governors have the flexibility to use these tests as they deem fit, but we strongly encourage governors to utilize them in settings that are uniquely in need of rapid, low-tech point-of-care tests, like opening and keeping open our K-12 schools, supporting critical infrastructure and first responders, responding to outbreaks specifically in certain demographics or locations, and screening of surveillance in congregate settings. Mr. President, we just completed a briefing to the governors and their state health officials from the sit room, and we heard words like game changer for their states. Thank you, Mr. President, for your leadership and support of all our efforts to defeat this virus.
Thank you very much, Admiral. And let me ask you, Governor Reeves, do you agree? Would you like to say something?
Thank you, Mr. President, for your leadership through this pandemic and through this crisis. It was said by Republicans and Democrats alike earlier, this is a game changer. In our state of Mississippi, our K-12 schools have been open for 9 weeks. Our institutions of higher learning have been open for about the same. But while we have testing available now at least once a week in every county of our state, what this allocation is going to allow for us is we will have testing available for our K-12 teachers every single day going forward. And the thing that we know is that kids learn, and Secretary DeVos knows this so well, kids learn so much better when they're in the classroom than when they're doing distance learning or a hybrid. And while we have 75 to 80% of our kids back in the classroom, we want to get 100% of our kids back in the classroom. It is also critically important, Mr. President, your decision to allocate on the front end to the historically black colleges and universities means the world to Mississippi. Our larger institutions have the financial resources to provide testing, but in Mississippi with Jackson State University and Alcorn State University and Mississippi Valley State University, 3 of our 8 institutions of higher learning will get an allocation of these tests, and it's going to make a difference. And kids all across our state are going to be better served because of it. And I want to personally thank you on behalf of the residents of Mississippi for doing this, Mr. President. Thank you.